Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Evolved Dad Shortcast. So I have a question for you. What changed that now as a father, you're no longer as persistent with striving for your goals? When we're little, our parents, or maybe it's teachers, someone else that we know, keeps telling us how we got to strive for our goals. We got to put in the work. We got to go do that extra little bit. And now all of a sudden, as a father, that seems to take the back seat. Oh, I don't have time. Can't do it. Too many things going on. It's just not going to work. But that's not true. And if anything, our younger years are simply to set us up for greater success as we get older. When we're younger, we don't have that full picture understanding of what life is about, but we have others guiding us and we have scenarios, things that happen to us throughout life that set us up to be successful throughout the rest of our life. Whether we're going to succeed because we didn't have the right upbringing, or we're going to, and therefore we're going to learn from it and change and know what not to do, or we're going to be succeeding because we were brought up correctly and we know what to do. But regardless, our childhood is setting us up for our future life. It's giving us that baseline to work off of. And we see people succeeding in both ways. Some people succeed because they were brought up stronger and therefore they had a different start. And we see people that were brought up very poorly and they wanted something different for themselves and for their children. But what I find the biggest mistake that I made is thinking that I put in all the work beforehand, that now as a father, it's time to just coast. Yeah, our lives are busy, they are hectic. Especially having 5 kids ranging in age from 4 to almost 13. There's a lot more to juggle. Aside from the fact that it's 5 kids that you're trying to be present for, that I'm trying to be present for, trying to give time to, and make sure that I'm able to focus in on each child with their strengths, with their weaknesses, helping guide them throughout it without getting in my own way. It's time consuming. But to take a step even further back, if I'm even going to show up to be there as their father, I need to be improving myself. So it's even more important. As a child, it's just a baseline that was set of learning from everything that I went through as a child, whatever I remember from being a child, the things that are ingrained in me subconsciously, relearning those things. Do they make sense? Do they serve me? Do they serve what my goal is? Now's the most important time, especially with children as they grow older and we see maybe we want to parent in a different way. I know that I want to parent in a different way. And I want to be there for my children in a different way. I want to be more present for my children. And that's something that both my wife and I work very hard on. And we help balance each other with that. And we bring ideas up with each other and point things out to each other. And it's not easy. It's not. But that's what we're here for as parents. As a father, we're here to show up as the best as we can every single day, a little bit better for our children. Why? Because we're taking on building the next generation. And I want my next generation, my children, to have a life that's 10x or 100x better than my life was and is. And not to put things down, but as a parent, we always want better for our children. Now, saying that we want better for our children and actually doing something in order to improve it, that's what separates the dads from the fathers. Being a father is just being a sperm donor. That's literally all it is. You did your thing and you move on. But if you're there to be a dad, you're there to show up for your kids every single day. Yeah, there are going to be days that I'm going to fail. There are days that I'm going to suck as being a father, and I know that. But I'm working to minimize that every single day, little by little, for each and every one of my children in their own way, with their own situation. And if you look at it as you have to grab everything and run with it, it's overwhelming. But to be present and living in the moment is the way that you can do it, the way that I do it. That's what works for me. Living and sitting in that moment, remembering as I'm talking to my child, stop thinking about all that other stuff that you have to take care of. Whether that's stuff for my 9 to 5, whether it's the content creation, all the other things that I'm starting up on the side. Life is busy, but I work on not losing focus. And thankfully, my wife is there to help guide me along with that, to keep me going on the straight and narrow. But it takes a level of humility that I have to work even more on myself is to remember, don't push off when others say something that ticks you off. Somebody else says, you're not doing X, Y, and Z, whether that be coming from my wife, whether that be coming from a friend, whether that be coming from a mentor. The more that I get upset about those things, the less I'm growing. Now, I may not like how it was given over, and I may not want to take that advice from that person, and I may shut them down, but I still have to internally think about it. There is a little bit of truth to everything that's said. Whatever that truth is, take it, own it, and make something of it. Because that's how we show up better. And the reason I want to bring this up now is because we're coming to a close of 2023. And now's the time to start stepping up your game. So 2024, you start off strong. Don't wait till 2024 to start showing up to say that you're going to start on New Year's, start showing up better. That's not okay. Life doesn't wait for you. We have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow, let alone in 5 minutes. So every moment of every day, to show ourselves that we're worth more. We want better for our children, but just talking about it's not going to do anything. So starting now, even to take a few minutes every single day, make yourself a chart and be present. Choose one person if you want to start with. Start with just your wife. Start with just one of your kids, whatever it is. Just start. You're not going to be able to take on the whole thing at one time. It's not possible. It's just not. You're just going to get overwhelmed in the long term. You're going to end up failing. But by taking those little bits and doing a little bit here, a little bit there, you're going to be changing yourself. So it's no longer that you have to grab the whole bag. You're setting up a new platform. You're on a different level. And I want to encourage you to start making those little changes. Set yourself up with a chart where you're doing a little bit every single day. Take from today until January 2nd to work on that first step. That one person you're going to be present for 5 minutes a day, just 5 minutes. Don't set the bar any higher. Start small, and you'll see that it's going to change your relationship so drastically. I want to thank you once again for spending your time with me today. I appreciate it. And commit to making those changes. Make that chart. Start being more present for your family. Remember that the work as a father is starting now. Your work didn't end when you got married, when you had a child. This is Jonathan, the Evolved Dad, signing off.